is my Denishah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so excited for our conversation. We have a lot to say. We have a lot to get to. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm really good now that I had gymnastics this morning and I took a quick shower. I was like, I gotta go talk to my Denishah. So it's gonna be good.
Side note, for like Zooms, I never know if I should like look at myself or look at the person. So like just know I'm gonna go back and forth.
I do both. I try and put the pictures like right underneath where the camera is, but then I don't have, then I'm like looking to the side to look at my notes and my questions. And it's like
Really like up and down. Like so like I'm like up, down, up, down. And it's me on every single Zoom I'm in. I'm just like, wow, I can't really decide. Like
I
what
know
is like the norm? Like are
because
you
I want
supposed
to look in the people's eyes,
to
but
yeah.
but then like you're looking down. Whatever. Okay. Let's get this party started, shall we?
Yeah.
So my name is Stacy Tiro, and this is Changed for the Better, the Power of Arts in Education.
I'm Stacy Tiro, a high school performing arts teacher for over 25 years. I've taught a lot of amazing people. Now that so many of my students are adults, they'll teach me how, through the lessons in my classroom, they have been changed for the better.
So this person this gorgeous person that we're looking at, was my go-to dance brain for like 4 straight years. The 4 years that she spent in the studio, from the day that she walked in, she showed her natural affinity for everything and anything dance. All she wanted to do was absorb whatever she could in the studio. And she kind of she kind of turned into a little mini me. And I think at this point now, in more ways than one, which we can definitely talk about. I know I'm going to ask you this question, but I'm going to say that that she is now a dancer, choreographer, model, teacher, and living rubber band. So we'll definitely talk about that, and maybe I'll post some pictures of all of that. But this is a really impressive woman. So I'm going to get to question number 1 and ask you, what is your name, the year that you graduated, and what do you do now?
Okay, so my name is Denishah Desroches. The year that I graduated was 2014. What do I do now? It's not like a steady answer. So I'm definitely now a dance educator. So I switched dance teacher to dance educator. Yeah, so I switched that. I'm a professional dancer, choreographer, model, really, sometimes not really, but that's not like my go-to. It's more so like a
You
side thing.
post a lot of really great pictures up on that IG.
I do, but more so it's like for like dance content or like IG content. But like it's not like I'm like actively like, oh my God, New York Fashion Week, that's me, you know? But I think I do want to put it in my pocket eventually. And then last one, stretch coach. I now teach stretch classes and stuff like that. Yeah, so stretch coach.
I see all those the promo advertisement things
Mhm.
on Instagram. I'm like, I should probably go.
And like I mix in like now I mix in like heels. So like some most of them have been like heels classes, but like I'm getting back into the stretch classes because I'm just like, time to go back to my roots, you know?
But I think that that's really valuable. I think I've always felt that the more variety you have in your training, the more marketable you are, the more jobs that you can get, the more possibilities. So I think you're in the right space.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I try.
you always have. All right. So let's go to question 2. So we're kind of reflecting back now. We're going back into our kind of high school mind, but using your adult brain.
Okay.
Describe your adolescent self.
I was crazy. Like honestly, thinking back, like I was a lot. Like I'm still a lot now, but like I was a lot. I was a lot, but not like I don't want to say the word not enough, but like I was a lot, but in different, I feel like I should have used my allotness for other things. Like, I think it was more so, it's weird to say, like, I don't know, like, I feel like I was like the person that even into like my early adult years, like the person as an artist was kind of like still needed some molding, but like all of us do, but like it was more so like I had it, but it was just in the wrong spot. So like I think that even in high school, like I had it, but it was in the wrong spot. So like I think my intentions were in the wrong places.
I feel like, because I understand what you're saying by I was a lot, you know, so
Yeah.
you were very energetic and very, when I say aggressive, I mean like sort of personality forward. Like
Yes.
you didn't you didn't mince words at all, especially with your peers. You were a little different with adults, you know, you kind of had that sort of filter with adults. But with your peers, it was like, no, this is what's happening and that's it.
Yeah.
I think it served you well because it showed the sort of the leadership qualities that you were able to that emerged throughout the years. But I know that there was like some friction that that would happen.
For sure. Sure. Tech week. Oh, for sure. Literally. You were doing this right. Sorry. Are you Tiro? No, but I'm mini Tiro. So like it was a lot. Yeah, it was a lot. Now I'm like, oh my God, you didn't have to talk to her like that. Or like you didn't have to handle that like that. Cause now I'm like I'm not passive aggressive, but like I'm like so like, let me read the room first. Like, does this deserve me going off? Or like, should I just leave this alone? Now it's more so leave this alone. Now it's more so
Pick
leave
your
this alone.
battles.
Yeah.
Your battles. It's true. And now that you're working with kids, that like you see that even more.
Like it was so funny though because like I'm currently like choreographing for Rampo North Rockland. So like I was looking like sometimes like I'll be in rehearsals and I'll be looking around in my head. I'm like, were we like this? Like it's so I'm like, am I the villain? Like you know like that type of situation. Like this is what Tiro had to deal with. Oh, like it's not like karma, but like it's kind of like a circling back moment. I'm just like, oh wow. Oh,
It's
schoolers like this.
yeah. And that's actually thank you for acknowledging that.
Yeah.
Because kids, you know, they're just not in the mental space to understand that then, you know, when they're teenagers. But now that you guys are in your mid-20s and you're like, oh, sorry.
So sorry, but it's like, all right, I had to do that to do this. So like I guess it's part of the learning process.
Do you think that I'm a lotness? Do you think it was because you felt like you had something to prove, or you just didn't have the patience for the nonsense?
I think it's both. I think it's so much. It's definitely both because like it's the cattiness, like it's crazy, it's like very funny because like even besides from like thespians and stuff like that, like dance concert time, that was so competitive, like it was very competitive. Why? For no reason, you know. So it's more so like feeling that like, and it's like not only me but like other people too, like feeling that like we were under the title of like Tiro's favorites. So it's like more so like in the aspect of like, oh, she's Tiro's favorite. And I don't see why. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna show you why I'm Tiro's favorite, and then you can't say nothing about it because I'm gonna really show you, you know. And then like you really didn't have to do that because like personally, I outdanced, you know, the people that were talking. So it's like, did I really have to do it, or should I just really show it? Yeah, it was proving something, and then after a while, it was definitely proving something. Patience for nonsense. It was like, if you're not paying attention, you're obviously not going to listen to it. And I think since I was so invested in like learning, it just, even to this day, like it annoys me when like I'm somewhere learning and then people aren't like paying attention or like people aren't invested. So it's like, if the teacher has to do it again, you're wasting time. And that's always been my pet peeve. And that's also comes from like my dance background with the etiquette. So like if the teacher's talking, you don't talk. And if you miss something, the teacher's not going to repeat it. But then like if it's like in a recreational type of thing, it's like, yeah, I'm going to repeat it because it's not as strict, but like I still was in the strict mindset. So I'm just like, can we get it together because like we're wasting time.
You had
So
trouble separating the more
yeah,
formal from the less formal.
I still do. Like I'll still walk into like a recreational class or like a class that's supposed to be for fun. I'm just like, this is the third time the teacher's like, and I'll say in my head now more so than like out loud. I'm like, it's the third time this person said the same thing. You're asking the same questions. Like, pay attention, you know?
Welcome to education. No, but it's true. And I think the more that you do it and the more that you work with kids and adolescents in particular, who are the most distracted people on the face of the planet, you just learn that is the norm. Like you're going to say it and then you're going to say it about 10 more times. So you can't even get upset about it. You just have to accept that this is it. This is what we're doing here. And, oh, you need it again? Okay, here we go. I'm going to make it even more clear this time.
But I was like, all right, so everyone pay attention because this is the last time. I like to say this is the last time we're doing it. That's my favorite line. Because I'm like, listen, everyone, because that's when everyone will be like, oh, they want to tighten up and be like, okay, let's pay attention because it's the last time. I'm like, any more questions? And they'd be like, can we please like just okay.
I would love to be a fly on the wall in one of your classes. I have to do that one of these days.
Please, I pulled a you. You love to like whenever we're in the auditorium, you love to like just be at the edge of the stage and just have your leg up. And like whatever like they're running it, like I'm like literally watching it. I'm just like, what's the most comfortable position? Leg up. I feel like you see detail better like that. Like I don't know. Like it just feels better.
I do it without even thinking about it because I'm like, I need to like stretch out my hips. Let me just do that while I'm watching. And then people are like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just sitting and
multitasking. Yeah.
That's right. I am multitasking.
Yes.
This is a good one. Okay. So let's go to question number 3.
Okay.
So I want you to think about something that happened in the studio that helped you to manage or to regulate your adolescent self.
Oh, manage, regulate. It's going back, like always, my reference is always going to be etiquette. They say they say it out loud all the time. You hear it in commercials, but like it's the idea of being early is on time, being on time is late, and being late is extra late. And I apply that to literally everything I do. And it definitely, well, no, that was a lie. I don't apply it to everything I do. I apply it to everything that is professional. So like if I have to go to a dance class, if I have to job interview, meet someone, I'd rather be there waiting for them than have them waiting for me or just show up right on time. Because it works. It's beautiful because like whenever you're early and like you beat the person that you're supposed to meet, it gives them the impression of like, ooh, like, okay, like it sets the tone. It sets a different tone. So now like the energy in the room is more so like, they're more interested or more invested in getting to know you because they're like, okay, so like you don't play with your time. So that means you won't play with my time. And that's something I do. But if it's for like recreational things, like if we're going to the mall, if we're going out to eat, I'm going to be late. I'm going very late. Pizza day, I'm late.
You know how to manage your time.
Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. You know when it's important to like get there. And in fact, for this Zoom, I said 12:30 and she was there at like 12:27.
Okay.
She learned well. And so do you think that helps to like keep you sort of calm and regulated? And me too.
Yeah, for sure.
I would rather get there early and sit there for 15 minutes and just kind of be in the space than rush in and get in there. Oh, okay, I'm here. Like that's too much.
Whenever I show up on time, like I get anxious. Like I get like really like, cause I'm like, oh, on time. That means like I might even be a minute late. And like when you're like taking dance classes, like it's like you want to pick your spot, especially like you go in and like you show, and everyone shows up early too. So like you go in, you rush and you sit in your spot and then warm ups and you're there. And if it's a packed class, I'm short. I can't be in the back. I cannot be in the back because I'm gonna be like, and in the back you either have like the person who just gets it and just picks it up, or you have like a whole bunch of people that don't know what they're doing. Choreographer went up, they went left and right. So you just like, let's wait till they switch rooms. Like I got
be in the front.
yes, hello, and then I can ask my questions because I'm a question person. Hello, what was that? Okay, cute.
And what's funny, so that started early on in the studio, because even as a freshman, I feel like you were very close to the front, even as a freshman. Normally freshmen come in, they kind of like hang in the back because they don't know like what's going on, and they eventually move up to the front, and that's their spot. Not you.
No, I probably was front side. And probably not directly behind you, but front side, because
right
I can
side.
see
you were to the right of me.
Front side, because you can see me, I can see you, but I'm also not stepping on toes because like seniority wise. So like say you had like a senior and they're right behind you, who would meet little freshmen want to be like right here, and they're like, yeah, no.
So for question number 4, I think you definitely answered for one thing, but I want to see what else you've got. What are some of the lessons that you learned in the studio that you think about or use today? And you just said, you just talked about time, your timeliness, the being early is on time, yada, yada, yada. So what else that you learned in the studio that you're applying to your stuff today?
This one is a good one and a bad one. How competitive I am. I'm so competitive, but like it's more, but like honestly, in the industry, that like being in the industry, you have to be competitive, but like learn like the deeper and like deeper you get in industry and like going to different states, going East Coast, West Coast, it's not as competitive, you know. I know it's actually kind of crazy. So like New York is very competitive for dance, but more so in the aspect of like New York is like a need to know basis. So like for jobs. So like if I know this choreographer and they need dancers, they're not gonna hold an audition, they're just gonna call their friends or whoever they know or whoever could do the task. As opposed to like Detroit, at ATL, even Philly, like it's more so like there's so many jobs out there that it doesn't need to be as competitive. Like it's like if they know you're talented and then they just met you, then I'm like, okay, here you go. So being competitive, like I think I would like walk into the room and I'm just like on guard, like I'm just like on go. And I think that like sometimes that like makes, and like honestly the way like your energy makes your body respond to it, if that makes sense. So like I could be on go and then like I have RBF, so I'm not approachable.
Wait,
So like I'm just
RBF.
yeah. So like people don't want to like, or like people that don't know me yet don't want to approach me because like I seem unapproachable. And then like when someone that knows me that knows that like I'm just in the zone will come up to me and say hi to me, the energy switch. So I'm just like I could just go from like here to just real focused stretching. Hey Denisha, oh hey, like the energy is like it switches. So it's just like for people who don't know me, they're not gonna approach me. And then like I could not necessarily saying that I have to meet everyone, but like it makes it hard for me to meet new people. But do I want to meet new people all the time? No. But like, should I? Yes. You know.
The older you get, and you're still young, in the grand scheme of things, but as you get older, you're like, do I really need more friends? Do I really need more connections? And probably the answer is yes to a point. But in a professional capacity, you've got your friends for the most part established. And not that you couldn't take on a couple more here and there, but now you're focused on the professional connections, the network. That's probably still valuable to you.
I have to like really, or like I learned to like really like group people. So like there's really acquaintances, there's really dance friends, there's really people that like I'll say hi to in class that like I have no type of relationship to, but like you're just a familiar face. And like when we're in a dance class, like we connect, but like it's not like I'm gonna say, all right, bye, go, get home safely, and then that's it. Like we don't even talk through social media, it's like stuff like that. So that's something that really helped. So competitive, and just and just taking up space, to be honest, that's like a habit that I learned in the studio. just to take up space. And also like Brianna Knight just speaks that into me every single time I speak to her, just taking up space.
Talk
Because
about
like
that. Talk
in
about
a dance studio, this is gonna be, you know what, this is gonna be a dance studio episode, because that's all I'm referring. Because like honestly, in a dance studio, like you could literally just, you could be the best in the room and be in the back, and then like no one's gonna know that you're the best in the room, because not necessarily because you're in the back, but you're not taking up the space that you need. You're not showing up for yourself. You're not like taking the initiative to be like, you know what, my butterfly wings are going to fly over here, and this is how I'm going to improve or progress or just take the next step.
Making your presence known.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I learned in the dance studio without speaking. Yeah, like it's really just showing. So like a lot of things that I do, I'm like, all right, let me just show you. I'm not gonna talk to you like, oh my god, you did so good. Thank you. My name is Denishah. Nice to meet you. But that's something I definitely I feel like I can express myself verbally, but it's so much easier for me to express myself physically. And then like once like, and I'm also someone who doesn't like approach people. Like I like people to approach me. So I think that's like my way of like reeling people in to be like, oh my god, I want to talk to her. Oh my gosh, I was trying to talk to you this whole entire time, but like I was nervous, you know?
Do you think you're an introvert? Do you characterize yourself as an introvert?
Ambivert. I'm both.
Yeah, like one of those introverted extrovert kind of thing.
Yeah. Like because like honestly, like I have to charge my social battery. Like I can just talk to so many people at once. Like I have this one friend who like we'll take dance class, and like I'm like, cool, you know what, say hi to 5 people or like whatever the case is. When it's time to go, I'm gonna go. But then she's like in the back being a social butterfly, like, oh my gosh, I did it. And I'm just like tapping my foot looking like I don't want to be there because I don't want to be there. You know, it's just like, especially since like if it's late at night and I want to go home, I'm gonna go home. But if it's time to be outside, I'm outside. You know, I like both.
Yeah. Love it. Question number 5. How have you changed since you graduated high school? How do you think you've changed since you've graduated high school?
I definitely got calmer. Definitely became calmer. Calmer in the aspect of like not everything deserves my energy. Because I have my energy. Wow, my energy is amazing. I am an amazing person. But not everyone deserves that, you know? Like I was giving out so much energy and taking in so much bad energy, you know, because like you receive, what's the saying? It's like you give out so much good energy, and then everyone is attracted to it. But then like you invite so many different types of company. Yes, that's exactly it. So like I was just like being open to a lot of different things. I'm just like, oh, why am I tired? Or like, why don't I feel good? You know? Or like it's just like trusting your intuition. Like if someone makes you uncomfortable and you're around them, or you don't enjoy being around them and you're still like inviting them to like hang out and stuff like that, like it was like a lot of like friends of friends, you know, like it was a lot of like my friend group is like it was huge because like we was just like adding tag along, oh, this is my friend, let's hang out. And I was just like, do I even like this person? But that's one. So, like being selective, there we go, being selective with my energy, being calmer. I also think that like I have no problem like speaking up for myself. I think that like I was doing a lot of like speaking up for others as opposed to like really showing up for myself. When I first started like in the industry, like I was like the calm beast, but like I was also like holding myself back because like I would be in class and like maybe this is a little too much. Like you shouldn't do this choice because it was out there, as opposed to like doing the choice, being out there, and then just not caring. Like I think I like cared a lot with like others. Like I cared a lot about others' opinions. Like it was like, oh, you're doing too much. Am I doing too much, or are you not enough? Or it's just like too much for you, you know? Not necessarily saying I don't care, but it's more so like doing what's best for me.
Yeah, being true to yourself.
Yeah.
You're more being true. You're more mindful of being true to yourself.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good thing. So going on to question 6, we're halfway through already.
We're halfway there.
What would your adult self tell your high school self now to help ease the way?
Going back to the last question, just literally the last part, just showing up more for myself.
That served you.
Yeah.
That serves you now.
Yeah. Like literally, like it's the person I've always been the same person. I just needed molding.
Mhm.
So it's like the person that I'm still true to myself, but like I think that like I'm just more like vocal. Like I have no problem saying no. Before in high school, I was like, yes, yes, I can't do this, but I will try. And then in the process of trying, I would like force myself to do it, even though it was like physically, mentally, emotionally impossible. It's just more so being smart with my energy, more so being smart with my time, more so saying no to things that not necessarily don't serve me because I don't want to make it seem like I'm selfish. But it's more so of the things that like, would this benefit me now? Would this benefit me in the long run? Like, is this someone that would do the same for me? So that's what that would ease the way.
Yeah. And I think adolescents, they don't have the training or the tools or the practice. And
Mhm.
they're very narcissistic. Adolescents are very narcissistic and thinking they're very in their own heads and how is this impacting me? But the choices that they make in like in their decision making is not always like in their own best interest. And
Mhm.
you're right in that they wind up throwing away so much energy and worrying about like everybody else and how everybody else impacts them rather than saying, this doesn't feel right for me. And so this is not the direction I'm going to go. They need to become more mindful in those choices. So I'm glad that you brought that up because that's something
Yeah.
every adolescent needs to.
Every
So
adolescent. The crazy part is like every adolescent is told that. Like I've definitely had like adults tell me that in the process.
mhm.
But like, I just didn't want to listen. I still don't listen. But it's
You
like more so
know,
like
adolescents' brains are wired like really, really different. They're incomplete. Like the connections
yeah.
like aren't there. And it takes like to your mid-20s when they finally go, oh, right. That's what I need to be doing. Got it.
Yeah, the amount of times like I could reflect on like what like a mentor has told me or like what a parent has told me. And then like I'm like, oh my God, my dad definitely told me this. I'm not gonna tell him that he was right because he was right, but like, maybe I should listen. And then 2 weeks later, still not listening. I think it's more so like just trying to. I think it's more so the idea of like figuring it out for yourself. Some people figure it out tomorrow. Some people figure it out in like 10 years. But it's like the process of trying to figure it out yourself, and then like I think it's like a puzzle. Like it's like each task is like a puzzle piece, and like you want to do the puzzle yourself, but you don't want to accept help, even though the help is what's going to get you to the end of the puzzle faster. It's really what life is,
True, true.
especially as a child.
True, true. Question 7. What is something that you are grappling with now?
Honestly, coming to terms with there's a couple. As an adult, or like like it's so weird calling myself an adult. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So as a grown person, um, I think so like I know what I want. So like obviously like I want to dance profession, like even like profession, like on tour, stuff like that. A grown person, I have to like make smarter decisions. So it's like picking up jobs to pay for bills and stuff like that. I would take on a lot of like teaching jobs. So like the teaching jobs is great. It's something I want to do, but it's something I want to fully invest in myself and stop like dancing like professionally when I'm older and like more so like in my 30s. But like I've been investing in so much time for that like it's taken a toll on like my professional thing. So it's like the idea is more so like I have to like be a bird and like jump out the nest. In the aspect of I have to struggle even more. So like I have to like take away from the easy job that's gonna pay me like whatever the whatever like biweekly, weekly stipends, whatever the case is, and get uncomfortable and get like and struggle with like a 9 to 5 and like be more invested in like back to training, back to networking, back to this, back to that. So like it's more so like I'm so comfortable with it though
Mhm.
that I don't want to like just do it yet. I'm just like, well, what am I gonna do after that? Or like, and that's like that's one of the reasons why I haven't like moved to the city yet, because like I'm technically like contracted to be in Rockland still for
Mm,
like all of my jobs.
yeah.
But then it's like if I was to move, I would struggle getting back here, this, down, and third, I'll be late. But then like I was like, you know what? If this is what you want to do, you have to do it, you know? So that's like it's like now it's more so like trying to get like into the idea of like I also don't like change. Like it's so hard for change to happen for me. So like it's always been an issue with change. So like the idea I've lived in the same house my whole entire life. So it's like now like this house is like not gonna be my home anymore. So it's like, oh my God, this and then this and then this. So it's the idea of change and the idea of making myself struggle. I've been struggling with, yes. I think that's mainly it. Like I just love to be comfortable. And like all of us do. But like it's like you don't grow in comfort, you know?
Okay.
And like it's like I always think to myself, I'm like, you've grown so much, you know, like as an artist, you definitely put your foot in the door and stuff like that. But like my foot is literally in the door as opposed to fully being in the room,
Your
if that
heart
makes
is in
sense.
the room. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's hard. I remember before I became a teacher, I was out there doing similar stuff and auditions and being in the city, and I was living at home and commuting with my mom at like 5 o'clock in the morning and taking the N and the R down and like just doing all of that. But it's you have to be willing to completely immerse yourself in that life
Yeah.
and feel the burn, feel the struggle, because that makes you hungrier for the success. And the thing is, you have an like an animalistic work ethic. Like you are, your heart is hungry for it, but because you have this ability to be comfortable in your house, it all of a sudden it's hard to extricate yourself from that.
Hmm.
So no, I need to be hungry. Like I need to need to get that tour to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's and manifestation and like I've definitely like and yeah, like it's not like it's crazy though because like I'm considered like a city dancer, you know? So like I have like people like, oh my God, like I have to like turn down things because I'm like, oh my God, like by the time I get to the city, it's gonna be this time, I might be late. I'm just like, or like, oh my God, my newest receipt, my newest excuse, oh, I have my kids. I have rehearsals with my kids. And I'm like, okay, when are your kids done? You know?
Determining what is the life that you want
Yeah.
right
And like
now.
I love this lifestyle though too. Like I love the idea of like not even the idea. Like the funny thing is like I was at work today and I saw this question and I actually no, I saw this and I actually like was thinking about it and this thought came to mind. Um like I love the idea of making my legacy because like it's as an educator, like you don't see it now, but like your name is going to be said in sentences from like in years, you know, like a student that I taught for like maybe 6 years is probably going to be on Broadway or probably going to be on tour doing what I'm doing. And she's like, yeah, because of my dance teacher, Miss Denishah, this. And that's like something that I look forward to. But it's like, is that something I'm going to do now? You know, because I kind of am doing it, but it's like, all right, but I want her to be like, my dance teacher, Miss Denishah, is on tour with this and this, you know?
Right. So it's getting hungry enough to and
Yeah.
brave enough. It's just taking that scary step.
Yeah.
Scary step. Yeah. Okay, number 8. Tell me one thing that you miss about your high school self, and then one thing that's gotten better since you graduated.
I would say two things I miss about my high school self because senior year, I used to beat my face every single day. Like I used to take the time. I know it's so like I know it's so random. I used to like wake up earlier to do my makeup. Like now, like it's like I feel like, and I also used to like take pride in like my outfits, like playing them out, like just randomly wearing a skirt, just like I'm doing whatever, you know. And now it's more so like I just be comfy. Like I'm just in a sweatshirt like I just want to like and put in the effort to like not necessarily like beautify myself, but like put in the effort to like more so invest in myself, like not like and like invest in myself, like I don't know, just self-care. Not even self-care, but like yeah, that's something I miss because like I really took the time like to just it was me time. Yeah, it was more so me time, like taking the time to be like, hey Denisha, how are you? Okay, we're gonna do this, just talk to myself. Yeah, that's probably the only thing I miss because I'm pretty much the same person, just calmer.
Yeah.
So one thing I miss and one thing
Better.
that's gotten better. My temper definitely got better. I don't really curse people out no more. I think it, but I don't say it. So, two claps for me. Yeah, honestly, my temper. Yeah, because I'm still the same person. I just need to do my makeup, and I'm just calmer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
I'm
still
definitely calm.
you still feel the stuff that makes you mad, but
Oh yeah, no,
Oh.
I don't. Yeah, no, like things that like I just don't care anymore. Like when I say, like there's certain things I was just like, old me would have got mad, but like honestly, God bless you. That's you. Like just God bless.
That's
Yeah,
great.
that is amazing. Like I'm just like, oh my, like you feel like it's like a weight lift off your shoulder because like it takes so much energy to be mad. Like it takes so much energy to be mad as opposed to like laughing or like just being like, all right, or just not investing in it. Like if it's not worth it, then just leave it alone.
How many of these kids get so wrapped up in what feels to them as like big things?
Yeah.
But really they're just not. And when they get all up in a tizzy about something, I'm like, please, you're okay. It's gonna
Because it's our world. Like the crazy, like I was thinking about it because like it's literally like high school is our world, like as opposed to like being older, you have so much more to worry about. Like you need, how am I gonna get this rent paid by tomorrow, or like, oh my God, my car, like it's like bills. It's like if you have a family, your family life, like you have like so many things that are outside of you to control that when you're in high school, like your main thing is you, whether like you're doing sports, whether you're doing theater, whether you just don't do anything, like it's just like that is like your pool. So like whatever happens is like heavily affecting you, and that's your main thing. So that's like, and it's crazy. It's funny though because like a lot you realize when you get older that a lot of things are like so unnecessary. Like it's funny though because like even like with people, like a lot of people that you didn't like in high school, listen, I'm speaking for myself. Uh, but like I think this also applies to like other people. Like a lot of people that like you didn't like in high school for like the pettiest and like the dumbest reasons, like you graduate and like you might see them in Walmart or like see them in Target, I'm like, oh my God, hi, what's up? Like, because like you guys realize that it was nothing. Like you guys just didn't like each other for no reason because like we were in such a small pool that like whatever happened, it was just like, oh, now I'm mad because there's nothing else affecting me.
Right.
Like,
Right. And now we're beyond that.
we're beyond that.
Moved on.
We have.
Yes, for the most part. Sometimes we get mad at stuff, but we can get over it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Okay, number 9. If you could give a piece of sage advice to high school students now, what would it be?
Oh. Oh. I'm gonna say, take the time, like actually sit down and take the time to figure out what you want and go for it. And that in the aspect of like, if your priority is to like, you want to drive this car and you really want it to the point that you need it, do whatever it takes to get it. I think a lot of us, when you're in high school and when you're like graduating, it's the idea of a one step. It's the idea of like, it's okay to not know what you want, but then like that starts a trend unless like you take the time to like sit down and be like, you know what, this is what I want. I might not want to go to school, but I want to do this. I might not want to do this, but I'm gonna do this. It's like saying that you have time is a lie because you do have time, but when you think that you have time, then that's when you're wasting your time. You could save a lot of years of your life by just stopping thinking for 30 minutes. Like, I like this. You know what? But I want this instead. It's more so having intentions. It's setting an intention and going after it. And then you'll be happy for the rest of your life because you're doing what you want.
Beautiful. That's good sage advice.
Really?
That's wisdom there.
Well, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, so now number 10. This has nothing to do with adolescence or high school.
Okay.
Everything to do with where you are now. Tell me 3 self-care practices that you do now to help you to center or to regulate yourself, to make you feel okay.
Sleep, eat, do nothing. Because I get so busy that like I forget to eat. I get so busy that like I don't run on sleep.
Mm.
And I'm a workaholic, so like I think that like I always feel like I have to be doing something. So it's like retraining my mind that like even if you're not doing anything, that you're doing something because you're taking care of yourself. So yeah, it used to be like, oh my God, let's do a facial, let's do this. But like those are like superficial things. Like I can wash my face, I take showers, so I'll be fine. But sleeping, eating, doing nothing, because that recharges me to go even harder.
Okay. This was very enlightening. I'm inspired by the fact that you recognized early on that this was something that you wanted to immerse yourself in this world of dance, world of performance, and you are so like beelined in your focus, and you're doing what you need to do, what it takes to make it happen, and you are finding all these different ways to manifest that, not just like one singular thing, but you're taking that I need the variety route to give you that much more experience to just keep pushing yourself forward every day. And that's really all that we could want, being back in high school as high school teachers. Like, please let them figure this out. Please let them take their talents and make something happen out of it. So I'm really proud of you, and I'm really happy for you.
I'm gonna cry.
And then do you have anything that you want to share at the end as far as, follow me at, or any of those things?
Okay, yeah. So my regular page, Stormy D _ and then my stretch page, Stretcher Stormy. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Miss Denishah.
Thank you for having me. I was like at work. I was like, I gotta read the questions. Like, I didn't read all the questions, but like I knew some of them. I was like, okay, this is gonna be fun. I was like, we're gonna be on time. Like, I'm really happy that like you're like going, like you're switching lanes. Like, it's cute. Like, I like this. Like, it's like she flips on Sundays, and she also has a book, and she also has a podcast. Like, this is nice. It's giving. I don't know. It's giving like up with the times. Like,
well, I wanted to make sure that whatever I do, that I acknowledge and pay homage to the history, because like you teach every day and just like you're going forward, but sometimes it's nice to look back and to see like what I don't want it to seem like this is like some narcissistic like fishing expedition, but like what is the impact? Like what did people get out of my teaching? Because I'm still teaching, and so what worked, and what can I focus in on applying or just keep doing, or what do I need to cut out? Like what is not important anymore, and how can I best serve the students that I have, and to hear everybody's answers to these questions are very different. I mean, some crossover, some are the same, but
we're all different types of
are
crazy.
individualized, and that's what I want to hear.
But like also it's like it's different teaching post-pandemic and pre-pandemic. That's like, it's the ball game, because the mental space that kids are in now is like so different. Like, it's like, especially like you have high schoolers, so it's like at least they were like they were still in school, or like they were in the world pre-pandemic, so know what it would have been, but they weren't like old enough to be like fully in it. But like at the studio, like I definitely like teach babies that like that's their first introduction to the world. So it's like the social anxieties. Yeah, the social anxiety is crazy. Like, and like just like like they're very emotional. Like, and I think that like it started transitioning. Like even when I was in school and I was annoyed by it, it was like the participation awards. Like it's like you either win first, second, or third. And now like I feel like that's now their life. You know, it's like thank you for showing up.
It's true. And if you think about it, you know, you talked earlier about how comfortable you were in your space and how hard it is to pull out and to move out. Think of that for a 5-year-old,
Yeah,
an 8-year-old whose socialization, you know, skills are much smaller. And then you're asking them to come out into the world after we've said, keep your mask on and be, you know, here's your bubble, protection.
Yeah.
And now we're like, and it's okay to start coming out now. They don't have the years of practice, you know, that adolescents or that adults do. Even adults have a hard time getting out now and feeling okay.
Like
So
it's such a different blend.
Yeah, I've always thought that, you know, coming out of this pandemic, it's going to take years to reestablish any sort of social norms. It's just time. We just have to be patient and be compassionate, and we'll get there eventually. We'll get them there. All right, my love. I think you have to get a train at some point to go find yourself in city 5.
Yeah. Do you know Cyberite?
Cyberite?
Yeah. It's like a choreographer carnival. It's kind of like choreographer's carnival. So it's like selective choreographers submit, and only some get picked. So someone who like I assist, she submitted, so she got accepted. So I'm helping her, and then we get to perform in it. So we have rehearsals for that now. So I'm excited.
Are you going to do your video and post to Instagram?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I get to see it.
Yes.
So it's okay.
Yeah.
My love, my Stormy Denishah, rocking the world with her dance. I love it. Thank you for joining me. Thank you
for having me. I'm actually, wow, like I don't know, like this just gave me so much energy. Like I feel like I just drank coffee.
Yay!
Like this just made me so happy.
Me too.
I
can't
miss
wait
you.
to go through and edit this. I miss you too. I can't wait to like go through this and just like, because you know, when we're doing this, I'm always thinking, okay, what's the next, you know, the next question we ask, like how do I keep this moving? So, but when I go back and I start editing, then I can like really like look and see what it is that you're saying and process it. And then I take my notes and yeah. All right. I love you.
I love you too. Bye.
Ah.